ATBO? A question that many of us have been asking ourselves, and I'm here to explain why. But before we get into it, hi, I'm Eve, and I make videos a little bit about everything from K-pop to commentary to reactions to pop culture to drama to a ton of different things. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So today's video, I'm going to be giving a bit of a deep dive, but also kind of talking about a current situation involving ATBO.
새까만 밤바다처럼 불안해질 때 멈추기 불빛이 따라고 in my way 너와 나 길을 찾아 어색한 fate 꿈으로 say it the way 온도를 딛고 다시 길 위로 the way 심장은 나오는 꿈은 더 가까워
Blueberry smoothie.
At the time of creating the script of this video, there was another social media ban that the guys were on, which if you watched this video, I briefly mentioned the situation in which was going on at the time, which was also a social media ban.
Flashback.
ATBO are struggling right now because the members haven't really spoken in the past week or so. And believe me, I'm a part of their weavers. They would never shut up. In the best way possible. I love that they love interacting with their fans. One thing that I know about ATBO in my few months of standing them is they love interacting with their fans. Every so often, someone would go live to reassure all of us. He would go live to joke around with us because although he was going through so fucking much, because not only was he in school, but he was also having to deal with the whole, the crewone of it all. And being on Ritzy Kingdom and practicing all the time and practicing for a comeback that never fucking happened. I would be fucking stressed out too, but every time they were stressed out, I think we realized that that's when they would go live because we were their reassurance. I don't know, that's really sad to think about. And I'm really sorry to him. I'm really sorry to all of ATBO.
End of flashback.
This is probably their third or fourth one that they've had since Ritzy Kingdom had ended. Although those things have been resolved, I guess, it doesn't make it any better, and we still don't know why, and we still don't understand why it keeps happening also. So, and that is the problem, that is part of the problem, because there's more things that have happened and more things that boats ATBO's fandom they're really in the dark about a lot of things. I know that some of the things that happened had been resolved. I wouldn't say resolved because although they're no longer on another social media ban, something still feels off and we can all sense it. I'm gonna start this off by saying IST is pissing me off yet again. I swear both IST and IST Entertainment take turns pissing me off, but today we're focusing on IST and the mistreatment of ATBO. I've spoken about this twice, which isn't a lot, but it's just strange that it's gotta happen more than once. And unless there is changes being made, unfortunately, I'm gonna be the loudest motherfucking person about it. ATBO is a group that debuted July of 2022. Keep that in mind. They debuted as a 7-member group under the Flying Dutchman's ship. IST Entertainment. Whoops! Sorry, couldn't tell the difference. ATBO debuted with Monochrome, and since then they've had 3 other official releases. Special mention, Now, it's not that they've never not been mistreated, it's just the fact that it's gotten worse, in my opinion. So on May 6th, 2024, that is almost a year from now, because I'm recording this on the 2nd, which, if this is up by the 3rd, happy birthday, yeonkyu. So on May 6th, 2024, one of the members, crewone, had left the group after being on a hiatus since March of that year. I really do not blame him because, again, being an idol is not for the weak, and knowing that these are the conditions, I'm surprised they're all still there. I said it. There, I said it. He left like around the time that they were announced to be on Road to Kingdom with Just Be, and a lot of people do think that he was like low-key dodging that, but also at the same time, if he was going through like mental issues, imagine being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna come back. Holy shit, we're about to be on a survival show. No, bye. No, you guys can go on without me, because what the fuck. Anyway, because it was not their year for sure. In September of 2024, ATBO appeared on Road to Kingdom. They merged with Just Be for this, creating a team called the crewone. And let me just say, they deserved so much better. But that's besides the point. In December, it was announced that after Road to Kingdom, the crewone would disband, which honestly, like, they weren't like an actual group per se. Like, it was more like just for the show, you know. But there's a lot of like speculation behind that too, and what maybe IST's intentions were. Because before I was like, "Ooh, we don't know what the problem might have been." But right now, like, if I'm really thinking about it, I think maybe that was for a reason. Because that that's a conspiracy theory for another video, okay? Some boats think Road to Kingdom could have made things worse for ATBO. And the reason why I agree is I believe that they were hoping they'd win so that they could save their company. And they, as in IST. IST was probably hoping they would win to save their asses because they were about to. But if IST, I don't know, promoted ATBO a little better, they wouldn't have to sell their company in attempts to salvage what was left of it. Their comeback was canceled also, and since then it's as if they're just there collecting dust because IST refused to do anything with them, and that is the problem. They're your group. They're your group. Do something. Like, literally just anything. Give them personal Instagram accounts. How about that? Give them something to do. I don't know. Put them on a variety show. Have me interview them. I'll interview them. I'm not an interviewer, but I could start. Like, hello. Here we are today, May of 2025, and guess what? ATBO's last release besides their work with the crewone was back in December of 2023. 2023! They had 3 official releases, and every group that was on Road to Kingdom has had a comeback by now. OneUs had a comeback, Gravity had a comeback, Unite had a comeback, 8turn had a comeback, Just Be even had a comeback. But ATBO? Crickets. Also, Tempest also had a comeback. But with ATBO, their last comeback was in 2023. Because their last release wasn't even like officially really a comeback because it was a Christmas. I think it was a remake of a Christmas song and a music video for it. And then a performance video for a song called Mayday, which by the way is but was not it was more of a B-side. I don't know if that would even be considered a comeback, but either way, like, you could argue that it is or isn't. Either way, that doesn't make it any better knowing that that came out December 2023 and it is currently May 2025 and we have got nothing except for a single with the crewone. Let that sink in. So my argument is, where the hell is ATBO? Again, since September, they've been on a social media ban like maybe 3 times. 4 if we include. No, they've been on 3. Like 2, 3. Either way, it's May. September was not that long ago. So my thing is, like, there's really no reason behind the social media ban. I have made a video about that before in which I went off on IST for this mistreatment too. But here we are again, unfortunately, because but it's worth noting that recently IST had sold their company to Beyond Music, and we have no idea if Beyond Music plans to keep ATBO or to not, or but beyond music, if you're watching this, right? Please save them. Please save. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. They're a good group. I think you should give them a comeback. Doesn't that sound great? I mean, you can argue that the reason for the silence could be that they're changing companies. They're moving to a whole different company. So that can also be a reason for the silence. But given no explanation for any of the silences though, you can't like blame the fans who have been waiting since 2023 for a damn comeback. You know, that was nearly 2 years ago. That is a problem because if I'm not mistaken, also this month would make it like 2 years since our last comeback, like official comeback. That wasn't the Christmas song. That's fucking crazy. And honestly, you can argue with the wall if you think that I'm wrong. You can argue that the reason for this weird shift in demeanor is because of that. But given no actual updates or information about the history of ATBO is just so uncalled for. Both ATBO's fandom are growing hopeless. In my previous video about this topic, I begged IST to actually try with ATBO, to put them in magazines at least, because those boys are gorgeous. And I mean, they kind of took that advice because they did put ATBO in a comeback. Not a comeback. I wish they put him in a comeback. No, they put ATBO in a magazine. But in my opinion, the way I saw that was like them being like, "Here, damn." I think that that's what happened. Like they just gave it as, because at the time also boats were mass emailing them, which I think we should do that again. But this time, don't be nice with them. I sent them I sent them a very mean email, and if I could find it, I will read it to you. But it was really just me being like, "What the fuck are you doing? You guys are so dumb. Why would you do that to them? Get a job, get away from her." I think that's what happened because, yeah, and they were just like, "Here, damn, like, my goodness. Leave us alone now, bitch." But no, where's the damn comeback? And the reason why I think it was that, because guess what happened since then? Since the magazine, you know what happened? Like 2 other SNS fans. I'm gonna calm the fuck down before I start crashing out on camera. So the reason why, like, you might be thinking, oh, maybe they're just like inactive, maybe they're busy with something, maybe they don't want to be active. But the thing is that because boats know them pretty well, boats know them enough to say they would at least say something, right? Be like, oh, we're busy preparing for something, guys. No, because I feel like they're also equally as confused as us. I create such a good group only to mismanage them, only to forget that they exist. But IST is literally too petty and angry and proud of being such a greedy because their main source of income left their company. I think they're taking it out. That's why they're like, oh, what's the point of anything else? As if they didn't have other groups. As if they didn't have other groups to take care of, to promote, to. Let's not forget Weekly. Weekly recently disbanded, but are we forgetting how they popped off back in like 2020 when they released After School? That song, you could not go anywhere without hearing that song. I was, hey, I was guilty. I was playing it all the time too. I'm guilty of that. But however, IST didn't really know what to do with that, so because since then I really don't even remember hearing anything from them. I'm sure they've had comebacks, but they were not promoted. If I were IST and a song from a group that I created had gone viral, I'd write the shit out of that. Oh, I would use the shit out of that. Be like, oh, this is what people like. Let's do that more. And actually try to put them out there. But no, you don't really care unless you don't care at all. You don't care at all if it gives you anything but ego. But because, you know, the older groups that were with you had left, literally all of them are gone. ATBO are still there. They're still fucking there, bitch. Do something. Do something about that. Don't piss me off. If I were IST, none of my groups would have left. First of all, because they wouldn't have wanted to. Because I would be good and I wouldn't have pushed them to their limits. I would also be promoting ATBO and Weekly better. Weekly disbanded not that long ago, but because IST kept them inactive too. I really don't remember their last comeback. Because I'm sure they had a comeback. It just was so poorly promoted that I didn't even hear about it. I'm like, oh, they had a song 3 years ago. So ATBO is a group with so much potential, and I will never get over how fucked up it is that IST is putting them through so much. I'm making this video to spread awareness about that and to ask people to trend some tags on Twitter, maybe email them, maybe show support in any way that you can, in a way that they can't say. They literally, if I feel like if we all put it in, right, I'm sure they'll notice, and they as in the company, and then they're gonna be like, oh shit, people like ATBO, because yeah, people do like ATBO. It's just a lot of us are tired, you know. I'm gonna be reading a thread that was written by a user called ATBO Zip. I'm going to have the thread linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read that too. Full credit to that person. I don't even like hot coffee. I don't. I prefer iced. No, I don't. Fuck iced tea. Sorry. My bad. My bad. I got triggered just now. I got triggered. I'm sorry. Hey Julian, how you doing? Making small talk while I'm waiting for this load. How y'all doing? Boats, if you're watching this, my fellow boats. How you guys doing? This thread is called "What's Going On with ATBO? Where are the members?" It's an explanatory thread. Guys, I could speak. ATBO, which debuted in July of 2022, are currently IST's only group. They have been on a hiatus for 472 days, and this was in March, so there's obviously more to that. That's probably way more than that now. Their last release was on November 27th, 2023, and it's a remake of a loved Christmas carol, Must Have Love. So it wasn't even a comeback, because it wasn't a new song. It was more like just their remake of something. Like, for example, if you think of when NCT Dream did Candy, not their song, but it was like their version of it, which they did wonderful, by the way. At the beginning of 2024, the members were talking about working on a new album and that they would have been back soon. However, exactly a year ago on March 13th, that's when OP made this thread, it was announced that member Crewone would have halted activities for the time being due to health issues. The members were not allowed to talk about him during his absence, and then he then left the group on May 6th. The comeback they were preparing was cancelled, and their plans for 2024 fell apart. The Boys' Eric even said that he made a song for them, which they recorded, but unfortunately it never got released. Confirming that they had activities planned for last year. On June 27th, it was announced that ATBO would have joined Just Be to form the crewone, a project group which would have participated on Road to Kingdom and released albums. However, after the finale, the group disbanded and the two groups went back to promoting on their own. This thread won't cover every single issue that happened while the crewone was active, but as it was a lot. But for example, IST completely forgot to announce Wonbin's first ever schedule as an MC at the time. Crazy, bro. Ever since Road to Kingdom ended, ATBO has been put on an SNS ban twice for no reason. And since this, I think there was another time too, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was two and I'm just dramatic. Since Road to Kingdom ended, ATBO have been put on an SNS ban twice for no reason. Once at the beginning of December and one that is currently ongoing. ATBO don't have any private messaging app. Even though IST has its own bubble app, ATBO has almost been a group for 3 years and have not been added to it. They've never been on bubble for IST. You understand why that's fucking insane? Because every other group was on there. The boys were on there. I'm pretty sure Weekly was on there when they were still group. I don't even know, but cause I had Juyons. I know this, but ATBO were not on there because I remember looking. I remember looking, being like, oh, I love ATBO. Fucking weird. Like, why? Don't have literally no way of talking to the members other than Weavers. This is a reason why SNS band is a problem, because there is no way of them connecting, because the company themselves don't give any updates. They don't let us know, hey, actually they're taking a break because they're just taking a break. Like, it's just they're on vacation. They're having fun with, I don't know, family, whatever. Like, they didn't even have to go that in depth, but even that alone, I feel like whatever. They don't tell us anything like that. We learned this from the guys themselves, being like, oh, BTW, I'm visiting my sister. And I'm like, okay, well, we're really glad that you're visiting your sister. Um, you know, we only hear the updates from the members themselves, and them being inactive, we don't get anything. So it's kind of like your mind is racing, and you're thinking the worst case scenario. Like, what if he's not saying anything because he can't, because they're gonna, you get it? Anyway, so after spreading the word and emailing IST, the ban in December was lifted. However, it's happening again. ATBO haven't posted on Weavers in 4 days and on Twitter/X in 5 days. They posted an official TikTok or whatever that wasn't like a birthday post or something not that long ago, and it was of Junmin.
Loco.
And recently there was one of Sungwon that he's so fun. Anyway, so yeah, that was also posted, which that's progress. Okay, that's progress, because they hadn't posted. I feel like they hadn't posted one since last year.
Rocks on my fingers like a nigga wife me. Got another shorty.
Last TikTok, then the one for Junseok's birthday, was posted on February 5th. The last time a member went live was on February 22nd, and they used to actively post TikToks and go live before that. I can confirm. I have only been a boat for like a year. Like, it's almost gonna be a year since I became a boat. I mean, that's a pretty lengthy time, but one thing that I've noticed about the group since the beginning is that they are active everywhere. They're really active on social media. They go live every other day, and these days Junseok and Junmin go live quite often. But like, I'm glad they're okay. Like, remember that this was posted on March 13th, so a lot of things have changed since then, but a lot of things are still the same, because again, their last comeback was almost 2 years ago. That's a problem. ATBO are clearly the only ones under IST to have this kind of limitations, as the accounts of Unji, the trainees, and for auditions are normally active. Back during December SNS ban, the only update we got about ATBO was through a trainee's Instagram account. And it was them saying giving gifts to ATBO. The last time ATBO performed as the crewone was on November 7th, 2024. The last time they performed as ATBO was on July 20th, 2024. It has been months since both have seen ATBO perform as ATBO, I mean. Since the crewone disbanded November 29th, 2024, other than a Christmas relay dance by M2 and 2 magazine shoots, one taken in the practice room of IST, like not at a set or anything, in the practice rooms. It's fucking crazy. At the beginning of January, their division was hiring people through A&R and album production. The members have also talked about looking forward to their activities this year in their interviews for their magazine. They said, we participated in a survival show, Roti Kingdom, as the crewone, and now we're back as ATBO. We're preparing for a new beginning. We ask for your interest and love. That is what was said.
2025년에는 멋지게 돌아와서 보트 여러분들과 더 많은
On the 5th of February, it was announced that Kakao, which is they own IST, right? So yeah. They sold IST to Beyond Music. Hasn't been much news about it ever since. Currently, at the time, none of ATBO's albums were available on their shop, which was really strange. I mean, it's better now. Like, you can still see it now. If you were to go in the Reverse shop, it'll be there. At the time, and that's strange. That's weird. That doesn't just happen. You guys want to see my cat? Cat break! Say hi to Johnny. Say hi, Johnny. Can you say free ATBO? Yeah, exactly. No, he's wagging his tail. He's mad. ATBO have been very mismanaged. They have been sent to their second survival show shortly after debuting. They were made on a survival show, so them being sent to a survival show right fucking after is fucking crazy. That's crazy. Maybe if you promoted them, IST, hey, here's the y'all. The thing is though, because IST is owned by Kakao, they're not broke. They can afford making a damn comeback, okay? Peak Time was a survival show for lesser known groups to get a chance to be seen. They were recording pre-show content and the first episodes while they were promoting their first comeback, Attitude. ATBO have been on different survival shows every year of their career so far. 2022, they were created on a survival show called The Origin, A, B, or What. Started recording Peak Time, and then Peak Time was in 2023, and then 2024 Road to Kingdom. Stop putting them on survival shows and put them on a variety show, maybe. Have me interview them. I'm kidding, by the way. Unless you don't even have to pay me. A win is a win. They never actually went on a survival show as ATBO, and while Peak Time was airing at the beginning of 2023, they couldn't post much due to the show's criteria. Unfortunately, this caused many fans to lose interest, and it's happening again due to unnecessary restrictions. Because Road to Kingdom got them a lot more fans. I was gonna say me included, but I did start studying them in May of last year, but I didn't fully like get into them until before Road to Kingdom started. So I guess you could say I am, but also not at the same time. They were on my radar for a while, okay? But my thing is, they gained a lot of fans through Road to Kingdom because people saw them perform. They liked what they saw. They're a very good-looking group, very talented group. And again, IST, why aren't you using that to your advantage? Like just be like, oh my god, like people like them. Let's give them a comeback. Yeah, and let's give them personal Instagrams or something. Yeah, let's give them acting debuts if they want. Yeah. Have you ever seen Hyunjun? Yeah, so I think it's very stupid that because IST's not giving them anything to work with, it's like these people are losing interest. They're like, what even is there to stand? Because there's really nothing there. But there could be more if their company actually cared. Just make tags trend like at where's ATBO? Hashtag where's ATBO? Hashtag ATBO please come back. Hashtag ATBO we love you. You know what though? I'm starting to believe they're just not ready for their power. Because the second they're given more to do, like, it's over for everyone. The boats need our help, and it's up to us to help save them. Not us turning into Wonder Pets. Can I be Tuck? Can I be Tuck? I want to be a turtle. Anyway, that's not important. Anyway, so this is like actually pretty serious, I would say, because this is literally someone's fucking career. They are literally just there, not doing anything. That's the problem. As a loud duppy, this is not my first rodeo, as I've seen the way IST loves to manage, or should I say mismanage, their groups, instead of doing the right thing. They've always let us down and only know how to silence their artists for the stupidest things. Imagine fumbling a group like ATBO, by the way. Like, they're literally all so gorgeous, and like, are we seeing the visuals? Dude. I mentioned Jumin in the last one. If I mention Jumin again, you guys are gonna wonder. My bias is Sungwon. But I'm
아무튼 여러분
Exactly. 좋은데? 진짜? 진짜. Exactly.
So that's besides the point though. They have so much potential, and if they were promoted correctly, I swear they'd be so big right now because they just would be. They have so much to offer. I would literally do anything for Attitude 2.0. Should leave. I know that they probably can't because their contracts don't end for another like 2 years. Yeah, for another 2 years. That's sad because 7 years. Within 7 years, they're gonna be like, yeah, they're good chunk of it. We did nothing. That's fucking annoying. That's wasting their time. Are they even getting paid? Let's just hope for the best right now because I mean, you could give it the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, maybe it's just because they're moving companies and the company is, it's a big change, it's a big shift. It's obviously a very big change. It's going to be different. It's going to be something different. That is like to be expected. And just hope for the best. Maybe in the next month or so, we're begging, we're begging for at least something, any information about them. But IST literally announced auditions recently for a boy group. IST, if you can't take care of the groups that you already have, or should I say group, everyone else left, all you have is ATBO. If you can't treat them right, don't debut any other groups because you don't know what you're doing. Listen, I've never managed a group a day in my life, but I swear I could do it better than you. Hi guys. So I'm back again because I finished filming that what you just watched like maybe 2 days ago. It's the 5th currently. I'll be done editing this by the 9th at least, like at most, because I'm literally like I was like almost done. No, I was done editing it, and I was like, wait, I need to check in with the boats. I need to know if there's anything else I should mention.
I've come to the conclusion that it's because IST is silencing me. Listen. Reply to this with 1 if you think I should. I'm currently losing my mind. Because my dumbass. Okay, so I was recording a video and I needed space to record said video. So I deleted some stuff and I accidentally deleted the video that I was working on. Like I was close to finishing the editing process, but I was missing a few things, so I got ready. I just filmed that to put in there. It would have been done by now. But I deleted it. So now I have to restart it. Mind you, the video is like over an hour long. This is not very cool. No, because I need to finish editing this though. Like I need to get on it. I need to finish this really quickly because the boats are waiting for me at the harbor, but I haven't even got ready to leave. Like that's. I need to stop with the boat jokes. I'm not sure if they appreciate it or not. Okay, I don't know. The picture, you know how when you shut the fuck. You know what? I'm gonna shut the fuck up and just go edit because me yapping on here isn't editing the video, and I can't keep dilly dallying. That's not professional. One more thing before I go. That's not attitude.
And I was given a very detailed timeline of events, and I was like, ooh, I should have done that better. So here I am. Don't mind me. Don't mind the outfit change. Don't mind the drink change. I'm here. I just wanted to add a few things that I missed, but also speak about things a little more. So I'm gonna start from when the last SNS band happened, but again, like we're not sure. It could start again anytime because it's so unpredictable, but at the same time, very annoying that it keeps happening. But anyway. So I wrote the next part before they went back on their SNS ban last time because like the beginning of the year they were on one and then they came back and then like sometime in March they went back on it. And everybody was like, "Okay, what the fuck?" All right. It's been like 2 weeks. Nobody said anything. Are they good? Like no updates, anything. It's understandable to be very worried for your faves, by the way. If you're gonna sit here and be like, wow, they're so dramatic, shut the fuck up, first of all. Second of all, it's a problem because, again, this isn't normal for this group. Because maybe for your group, they're not that active, or like they're not that active on social media or whatever. That's not the case for ATBO. They usually are. So when they aren't, it's kind of like, oh, this is out of character. What's going on? So that is why I keep mentioning it, because that is one of the big problems that has been happening. And so yeah, and I wrote this next part. Like there's like a chunk of information that I wrote down when when they just came back. Oh, before they went back on their SNS thing. That one was really funny, okay, because I did bully IST until, well, it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. The other boats, they were like mass emailing them until one of them had to post. And that one who posted was Junmin. Keep that in mind, because every other time that there's been one since, I don't know when it started, since like last year, since the SNS bans this year have started, or I think, yeah, person that is usually the first one to post before they like come back, as in come back on social media, you know what I mean. The person is usually Junmin. He's usually the red herring, which is, I'll put it on screen what I mean by that, because I'm too mad to explain it better. Basically, Junmin broke the social media ban thingy at that time, but he did that last time too. And boats are just really expecting the worst currently. Well, I mean, it's very divided, okay? I'm trying to stay positive. A lot of us are trying to stay positive, but a lot of us, specifically the boats that have been there the longest, they are over here like, girl, this is not the first time this has happened. We're sick and tired. Well, of course, we hope we'll get an actual update and say that by their anniversary, we can expect a comeback. Even if it's not like anywhere near that time, like let's say, because their anniversary is July 27th. Are you guys proud of me? I got that. I got that right off the bat. Anyway, so we're like, say, by then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, let's say they're celebrating together. Let's say there's a live or something, which I'm not sure if they would do that, but if they did, right? They're like, oh, by the way, guys, guess what? We're gonna have a comeback in September, something like that. That would be more than enough. That would be more than enough. That would be wonderful. I look, a girl can dream. A girl can dream, and boats can dream too. Anyway, so they're thinking that ATBO probably aren't living together currently. We know that they went out to eat for Junseok's birthday, but since then they don't seem to be together, and they've said themselves that they barely see each other these days, which, I mean, that wouldn't be the case if they lived together. Also worth noting that Junseok and Junmin have rented studios to practice on their own, and they're often doing live streams in them. We should not be surprised if anything doesn't work out in our favor, right? Which is like the worst case scenario, and I'm not here to make boats worry. I am here to spread the word. And if by spreading the word that can do something to make the situation better, I'll keep doing it. Guys, you don't understand how annoying I can be about these types of things. I would fight for them. Okay? I personally don't think that'll be the case. I personally don't think that they're gonna D-word. But like I've mentioned, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and that's precisely the problem. I think it's only a matter of time, but it's just the fact that they haven't had a comeback in a full year. Almost two. Guys, it's I was given confirmation, okay? I fact checked with boats, okay? Their last like actual comeback, if you weren't including their Christmas single or their Christmas cover, that's basically what it was, would have been 2 years ago this month. Guys, Guys, that's absolutely fucking insane. And some of the members have gone missing that everyone is afraid that it'll stay this way. But boats, any boats watching this, please keep your head up, okay? The iceberg only grazed our ship, okay? We have not sunk yet, okay? We are still staying afloat. We are not going to sink. Okay? I'm not the one driving this ship, but hey, I can tell you that alone. Sorry guys. No, this is actually a very serious situation. I was like I was editing the script because I had some things to add. That's why I'm here in a whole different. Yeah. But as I was writing it, I was like, damn, there's only one boat joke in here. Who even am I? Because if you were to watch any other video in which I have mentioned ATBO, there's only 2 videos, but again, I want to post about them more. I don't even know what to post about. I might like go back and watch some of their old stuff and be like, yeah, let's watch it together. Because I want to post about them more. But anyway, so anytime that I have posted about them, I have made so many boat jokes in them. As a Toby, my heart really aches for ATBO and the boats. Also, as a Toby, the boys have had it bad under IST too, but they've never been inactive for a very long time and they also had the most comebacks under that company. Um because IST prioritized them in that case. Like sure, like they had it horrible too. Trust me, they had it really bad. There was a lot of things that happened that's very but I'm saying this because I overheard there are some Dobies making this a problem or trying to make it seem like guys, even I can see it, okay? Even I can see that although the boys also went through hell and back at that damn company, but so has ATBO, and that they both can coexist, by the way, but it also is not hard to understand that with ATBO, the situation is something that we haven't even experienced. So we need to be a little nicer, and if you are over there bullying boats for being upset about it, it's very understandable to be upset about it because had that been our group, it would have been war. And and ATBO is not just a random group to me either, because I like them too. That is, and because I like them too. So this is something I'm even ready to be fucking loud about. Yes, there were horrible things that happened that was also bad for them too, like not protecting Eric before and after he went on hiatus. The shit that boy went through, silencing them for wanting to speak up on literally anything. But ATBO is also going through it, and they have since they debuted. Both of them suffering can both exist, but we should also empathize with boats because had that been us having the boys inactive minus survival shows for 2 fucking years, would have driven us insane too. Boats have been worried and scared for their faves is literally so valid, and anyone who has told them to get over it, please get a grip. With ATBO, all of this is something worth talking about and worth caring about as well, which is why I'll continue speaking about it myself unless there is change. Because it's like, I feel like this is like, okay, I'm getting heated. I also want to add that yeonkyu's birthday was on May 3rd. That was a few days ago from when I'm recording this now. Tomorrow is the 6th. Anyway, so IST has made a post about how on his birthday there won't be a birthday live stream due to personal reasons. And now if the reason is because he just wants to spend time with his family or his friends on his birthday, that is a-okay. Okay, that is not the problem. The problem is, however, we haven't heard from Yeonkyu or Hyunjun in a long time. Last time Hyunjun posted was in January, and if I'm not mistaken, it was like beginning of January. It was like January 7th or something like that. Or around the time. Either way, it was in January, beginning of January. And the last time that yeonkyu posted was in February, the beginning of both months. And by the way, it is currently May. Is that not concerning? That's very concerning if you ask me. Like, I'm very where the fuck are they? Where are they? There has been no updates on him and the rest of the group. Like, IST, literally, what the fuck do you have planned for them? Pretend it's a mic, right? Nothing? Yeah, thought so. Anyway, bitch. We don't know if they're okay or if they're planning to send yeonkyu onto another fuck-ass survival show. I'll literally fight if they're gonna do that because that's so annoying. That would be like fourth survival show? Yeah. That's fucking annoying because they've only been a group for how long? That's not normal. Nobody sends their group to a survival show months after debuting. Nobody fucking does that. There's also a clip that I saw where Junseok was asked if he knew where Yeonkyu was, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know."
영규가 어디 있는지 아니 잘 몰라요. 잘 몰라요.
Like, boy doesn't know either. The members don't even know where the fuck he is. Circling back to Road to Kingdom and the crewone, there's so much I could talk about in regards to all of that, but I feel like it's very important to mention it here. I did joke earlier that it was a conspiracy theory for a different time, but it's very important for us to talk about here. After Road to Kingdom had ended, both ATBO and Just B went their separate ways. Disclaimer though, this is in no way like a diss to the boys themselves because I love both groups a lot. I'm only mentioning this because there's a lot that happened during Road to Kingdom that I feel like we have to talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. Going separate ways is okay. Just B's company, Blue Dot, issued an apology and statement regarding the crewone's disbandment, and the members also addressed it, thanking ATBO and everyone for the experience. And I genuinely believe that they adore each other because like they just seemed really happy together. If you were to watch any content with them together, I think they're good friends. I think they're friends at least. So the group as in Just B has released a few singles and a mini digital album since then, and just ended their North American tour. ATBO, on the other hand, well, IST did issue a brief statement. But really, it was like them announcing the disbandment of the crewone. Like it wasn't like oh sorry guys, sorry that it ended. They're like the crewone's gonna disband this day. Bye. That's what it was giving. Because IST never knows how to like time and place when you did at my birthday dinner. Every time they do like some type of statement, whatever sorts, I'm like, damn, Debbie Downer. The members weren't allowed to speak about the crewone or the others. Just B was like they were able to. There are numerous times where they would address or like bring it up or bring up a member of ATBO or like just because there was this one time I think it was in Jimin and he was like, yeah, this is from when I went to the gym with so and so, and it was like during when I went to the gym during when I was in the crewone or part of the whatever it was something like that. But ATBO weren't allowed to do anything like that. They weren't allowed to mention it. They weren't allowed to talk about it, which I would understand not wanting to talk about Road to Kingdom because of the mental gymnastics that those boys were going through during all of that. We will address that in a second. I can't blame them for that. The members weren't allowed to speak about the crewone or the others. Silenced, and for what, by the way? I could have spoken about it privately with Just B, like that is also a possibility. But like it's just the fact that with Just B they posted literal letters. But I do think like what I'm about to say, I think that could be a part of it. it could be kind of like because Just Be, although they also went through quite a lot during all of that, because that it was traumatizing for everyone on that damn show, and it usually always is. Okay, always is. But if you were to look at Just Be, who have done a lot since then, and then ATBO, who have done nothing since then, it's like, I'm not dissing anyone, okay? I'm not dissing anyone. I'm just saying I can understand it, kind of, why it was easier for them to talk about it. ATBO, since the disbandment of the crewone, had like 2 photo shoots after the crewone's disbandment, and not to mention the one that was literally filmed in their fucking. It was filmed. It was filmed in their What's it called? Their practice room. It was filmed in their practice room. It was filmed in their practice room. That, like, I'm gonna include a clip of that. I don't know if I already did or not. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I have to re-edit this entire video. We'll see. Because I accidentally deleted a few things. They had like 2 photo shoots after the crewwone's disbandment and have been inactive since then. I'm mentioning this because although they were both in the crewone, you can see IST's incompetence because they literally had no plans for ATBO. A lot of people believe that the plans that they had were with the crewone because a lot of people were talking about how they were planning on doing a concert together. They were planning on releasing like an album together or something like that. Like that was also something they talked about. But obviously that didn't happen because the crewone disbanded, and I think because of that, IST was like, oh damn, our plan has gone downhill. And I'm like, well, maybe you can take that idea, shove it up your bum, and then come up with one for ATBO. Your own grip. Your own grip. Since they disbanded, they couldn't make music together. But honestly, I get that because music-wise, Just Be and ATBO have different styles. Like, it's very evident. But it's not like ATBO has much say in what they release. Because if that were the case, they would have a damn comeback by now. Now it's on period. ATBO hasn't had any schedules, just like they barely have for a very long time, which is put them in it. I don't know how many times I have to say put them in something. Put them in something. That could be enough for people to be like, oh my god, this song's really good. This song's really cool. I want to stand ATBO. And then more people could stand ATBO, and then you could be like, OMG, this is the perfect time to release an album. And then you release an album, and then more people come because they're like, wow, we really like what we're hearing because, oh my god, these are so cool. Oh my god, Junmin is so hot. And then more people are going to like them even more. And they could be so fucking big if you let them. I feel like I keep repeating myself when I say that ATBO are a fully capable group who can easily get where it can benefit both them and their company. If things weren't so half-assed, they could be so huge. And killing ATBO is a huge L on IST's end. Something has to change because this really isn't okay. Also, it's obvious when watching Road to Kingdom how genuinely distressed all the members of ATBO were. Junseok crying and feeling like he didn't do his best when in reality the crewone did so good. But for Junseok, I can see why that was his breaking point because this is like their 3rd survival show that they have been on since their debut, which by the way, they debuted through a freaking survival show. It's like that's all they've known, and that's fucking annoying. That's not normal. Nobody debuts a group and then puts them on a survival show months after. Nobody fucking does that unless they don't know what to do with the group themselves, so they want someone else to do it. Lazy much? I think so. They're just trying so hard for nothing to happen. Hell, I'd lose my shit too. I'd go so bad. I'd go batshit insane. You guys are gonna have to be like, oh my god, hold her back, she's gonna, and I'm gonna, you know, I Junseok also said that's why he got a buzz cut because he lost confidence in himself.
내가 그렇게 못했나?
Guys, I'm not sure if people understand the power that this boy alone has, because there's so many. I've seen so many of his like dance covers on, or his like his dance covers on TikTok that have gone viral. Because he's attractive and can dance. You know how many people, if they kept that up, right? If they kept that up and they were promoting ATBO for something, like let's say ATBO had a comeback or ATBO had a single that they were promoting, and Junseok went viral for another dance cover like that, so many people are gonna be like, oh my god, what group is this? Oh my god, should I stand ATBO? And then we're all gonna be like, yes, there's enough room for you. You know, it's literally not that hard to make happen. Yeah, but he said that he lost confidence in himself and needed change to overcome that. Like, dude, what? I hope none of those guys blame themselves for not winning Road to Kingdom or for things that are clearly the company's fault and not the guys themselves. I remember watching their Watch It performance. I'm not sure if it was the Watch It performance or if it was the one before that one, because there was one before it, but I forgot what it was called. There was one before it, and it was either that one or the Watch It performance. But there was one where yeonkyu was like, "Oh my god, I tripped, guys! I missed a step." And he was like literally panicking the entire fucking episode. Like, oh my god, I fucked it up for everybody. Oh my god, guys, oh my god, I fucked it up for everyone. He was literally like, I remember watching that and being like, what? Because literally, okay, if you were to watch the entire performance in full, you wouldn't have noticed that he tripped. The performance was really good. I think that the group did very good. I think it's very annoying that, and you could tell that this was serious for them, because it almost felt like this was their last chance to really do well and really make it for themselves. But that's so annoying that they have to go on a survival show for that. Most groups don't have to do that. Most groups can do that with a good comeback. And they have had good comebacks, because according to Boats, during Attitude, they were getting a lot of attention. When their debut happened, they were getting a lot of attention because a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, new group," you know? And yeah, and so with Attitude, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, we love this song." I'm kind of late to that, but I agree. Attitude's really good. But that's besides the point. People have fallen in love with them before, but people also have fallen out of love with them because there's literally nothing going on. I mean, like, obviously, if yeonkyu like tripped and fell and he hurt himself, that's when I would be like, holy shit, fuck everyone. Oh my god, why would you? I literally didn't even notice that he tripped until he pointed it out, and he was like, look, I tripped and I missed a step and I fell, and oh my god, I fucked it up for everyone. And I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't even notice that happened. And if anybody else was literally paying attention for that to happen, they're crazy. They're insane. They got problems, because the entire performance was so fucking good that shouldn't have changed any of it. And that's on what. And dare I say, the reason why they got low rankings was not because of their performances. It was because people were fucking scared of them. Because I don't know if you guys remember on the first episode when the crewone walked in and everybody was like, oh, they look so scary. They look so scary. The entire fucking episode, they kept saying that. They kept saying that. So I think, I don't know, they were feeling a little intimidated by everyone else. But also the case that also is Just Be and ATBO together, they don't have that big of a fan base. Both of them don't have that big of a fan base. I mean, Just Be is getting more popular these days, but genuinely, like, especially at the time too, not all people know about them. Not a lot of people knew about them, but more people were getting to know them. But other groups that were on Road to Kingdom had way bigger fandoms than them. And most of it was fan voting and streaming. That was whatever. I wish that there was judges. I wish that there was like I'm pretty sure there was I'm tripping, sorry. There was if I don't remember, there was like an episode of Road to Kingdom, or was it Kingdom? One of the last seasons, and there was like other people there, and they were the judges. They were judging the performances, being like, "Oh my god, this performance is so cool." That would have been a little more fair, I feel like, because then it would be not because of who's performing, but because of what they're performing and what the performance actually looked like, because a lot of people were a little too biased. You could just watch the performance and be like, okay, this one's cool, this one's confusing, that guy scares me. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to just do that and put your bias aside, because but I mean, I also understand wanting to vote for your faves. Like, that's also understandable. But again, the voting was very confusing. I couldn't figure it out. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that was very confused also, because I was like, it was not like that before. I feel like before it was really easy to vote. They're like, oh yeah, just go over here and put in your vote. But that time I was like, you have to get these like little jelly thingies by watching something, or you can pay for them, and then you can vote for them. And I'm like, fuck you mean I need to pay to vote? And it was easier for people that were there physically at the performances, right? Watching the performance live. Yeah, they had some really good performances though. So that's why I'm so like heartbroken that they really felt like they didn't do well enough, but they did. They did so fucking good. It's just so sad, because once you realize why they were so panicked because of that, because this wasn't their first survival show, and they felt like it might have been their last chance to really do anything, because now they're inactive. Such a good group going to waste, and that's making me mad. That's making me real mad. Moral of the story, IST or Beyond Music, whoever's in charge of them currently, do better. Please save them. This group will do you so good, even if they completely rebrand. Because I had a dream that they did. Other boats had dreams that they did around the same time, which was really creepy, but that happened. What if they rebrand? What if that's what they're gonna do? What if they just like bring in new members or something? Like, obviously keep the original members too, but like, what if they added a few people and was like, you know what? There you go. Even that would be better, because at least they're there. At least they're having a comeback. That wouldn't be an awful thing. I personally wouldn't be complaining. I'm not sure how other boats would feel about that, but like, again, like, if like including all of the other members, like including every single one of them. That's all for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please let me know in the comments, and also comment a sailboat emoji if you're watching this far. Bye. Yacht party at my place. There's the boat joke. There it is. Yacht party at my place. When ATBO have a comeback, we're gonna invite. No, they are the yacht, because they're not just a ship. They're more than just that. You heard it here first, folks. Wait, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and leave. Bye.
Blueberry smoothie. Blueberry smoothie.
세계에서 느껴봤어 시간이 지나도